Today we're going to talk about the serve, some of the fundamentals that I think are very important for the serve. Just knowing that everyone has a unique style, which is totally fine, but we want to have some of these fundamentals to help with our style and having a very effective and efficient serve. So when I talk about efficiency, I like things that are natural. So I like teaching the serve by having that natural throwing motion. Everyone who can throw, whether it's footballs or tennis balls, if you can start your kid young with that, just having that natural, correct throwing motion, I feel that leads into the serve and gives you that chance to have a very good serve. After kind of getting that throwing motion, I'm going to talk about the lines, kind of correct lines with your shoulders, your hips, with your feet, and then just the rhythm of the serve, having a good rhythm where your right arm and left arm should be going and the rhythm that comes with. And then finally, kind of using that lower body, that's going to be the key to having a nice, easy powered serve where you don't have to overuse the arm. It's going to help you avoid injury with the elbow or the shoulder. So that lower body is also going to play a key role in the serve. So when we're talking about the natural throwing motion with the serve, we're talking about, if you watch my arm here, as I naturally throw that ball with this arm motion, you're going to see that my hand is pointed down. My elbow's coming in to this natural position to throw the ball. If I throw the ball over the net, kind of as a serve going up, that's my natural throw. If you now look at my serve, my arm is going to naturally throw the racket and hit the ball over the net. So in that video, you're going to see that the throwing and the serving, the arm looks almost exactly the same. And that's what I feel is important to kind of start the development of a good serve, is that if we have this natural throwing motion as we serve, we've got a nice loose arm with a loose wrist, and that's the most natural way to have our body working for a very complicated stroke. So we've talked about the natural throwing motion, plenty of ways to practice that. Throw balls around with your kid. Footballs are an excellent way to practice this natural throwing motion. For younger kids, the footballs with the little tail that helps it spin, that'll make it fun for them. So just these nice throwing motions with different balls. You can also use a sock with a ball in it, or any of those kind of tools that help just with a relaxed kind of throwing motion.
Welcome to CoachLife.com. My name is Peter Clark. I'm the founder. Thanks for visiting our site. I'm a former pro player. I got to 229 in the world. I spent 2 years traveling the world shooting content with the greatest coaches of all time. The junior coaches to players like Carlos Alcaraz, Novak Djokovic, Iga Swiatek, Taylor Fritz, Coco Gauff, Jack Draper, and many more. You'll find all these great coaches on the site. We have 34 of these coaches on the site. We add one new coach every month, and it's not just tennis coaches, it's tennis-specific experts in footwork. We have the world's leading tennis-specific footwork specialist, Dave Bailey. He spent the last 15 years developing the Bailey method. You can check out his profile and you'll have a fully downloadable program that you can follow, a daily structure where you can follow along these exact moves. We all know how important footwork is, but it doesn't stop at Dave. All of our coaches talk about footwork in some degree or capacity. It's the most important part of tennis. At that famous quote from Roger Federer, the best players are the best movers. We also have a full tennis-specific strength and conditioning program that you can follow each day from the world's leading strength and conditioning coach, Dean Hollingworth, who was the junior fitness coach of players like Alexis Galarneau, Jeannie Bouchard, who got to number 3 in the world. We also have a full tennis-specific sports psychology course from the world's leading tennis-specific sports psychologist, Anthony Ross. He was a former Wimbledon player and is a PhD in sports psychology, and he's worked with players like Ash Barty, former Wimbledon champion and 3-time Grand Slam champion. We also have a French neurovision specialist who's worked with players like Luis Boisson and Grigor Dimitrov. We have experts in nutrition, racket customization, different categories for transitions, strategy, developing weapons, parents' advice. Really want you to have a look around the site. You might come onto different areas of the site like the forehand or serve, and you'll see that there's 28 videos on the serve. Let me tell you, all of them are different. They cover different aspects of the serve. The first serve, the second serve, pinpoint, platform, slice serve, kick serves, topspin serves, different common mistakes on the serve and how to fix them. Each different video is unique or different. It's the same on the forehand. I'm a big believer in situation-specific technique. It's always been my philosophy. You'll find on this site, most of the coaches believe the same thing. It's having a different technique for each different situation that arises on the court. So I hope you enjoy CoachLife.com. Feel free to reach out with any questions. You can always email me at pclark@coachlife.com and I'm happy to help.
Natural throwing motion games. Take a football, nice little throw over the net. You've got your sock. You can just do this kind of rhythm of a natural throw. You can throw it if you want. Old rackets, maybe small junior ones that are nice and light, but go ahead, you know, I think you saw the Venus and Serena movie, but a ton of just natural throwing it over the net. A lot of those kind of natural throwing games or drills is going to be perfect to help your serve. So after we've, you know, kind of talked about the natural throwing motion, we want to talk about the natural lines that we want to have when we're hitting the serve. What we'd like is, if we get set up like this, everything is kind of going to point to that net post, that right net post over there. We want to get ourselves in this position, and it doesn't matter if we're in platform or if we're coming up. If we're in this position, what it's going to allow us to do is for our lower body, our hips and legs, to start the opening up of the body, which will then allow the upper body to start opening up, and then almost kind of just letting that arm naturally release. If we have these natural angles from the feet to the hips to the shoulders, we allow ourselves to have that natural throwing motion with the lower body helping. And if we're open in any way, we would be using more arm and chest and shoulder to hit our serve, and that's where we get a lot of injuries. So, like I said, the setup is going to be foot here, facing there. If we're going to talk about the left arm and then the right arm, we're going to say the left arm is going to start the toss from the inside of your left hip. We don't want to kind of be in this motion. We want to be inside of the left hip when we're tossing that ball. That's going to give us, as you can see from here, that good line of everything is kind of closed, which is going to allow ourselves to naturally open. Our right arm is going to be doing that natural throwing motion. What I'd like is for this right wrist to just be a little bit relaxed. We don't want it too stiff. If it's nice and relaxed and gets into this position, we get a lot of that nice wrist snap, which is what we're going to look for. As we're tossing this ball with our left arm, we're going to have a slight delay. Now this is where style comes into play, but we're going to delay this right arm as it comes up. So the toss goes up, and as you can see, the racket is delayed. You can have a longer delay, a shorter delay. You could come up with less delay. Whatever style you want, whatever rhythm your serve has is going to dictate the amount of that delay. As this left arm is coming up, we're looking to have the toss released right around your forehead level, eyes or a little above. That is going to give you consistency on your toss. So if you're releasing early, who knows where this ball is going to go. As we come up, we want to release right around the eyes. The second part of this is, I would love it if the ball is between your left wrist and your left shoulder. That's going to keep you in this position of a kind of closed upper body, which will open starting from the lower body. I do not want the left hand on this side of the ball. I would love it if we could have our left hand on that side of the ball. As we come up, This is one of the key positions that I'm looking for. This racket being in this position. We come up to hit the serve and we're going to be right there in that key position. I'm okay with it kind of being there. That's totally fine. If you look at Alcaraz, actually, he's a little there, which is good as well. But we're kind of looking for leverage with this wrist, a little bit of a lever. So if we get in this position, we're just going to kind of go straight from there. If we can get in this position, we're going to get a little bit more of a lever. So a little bit more easy power with that wrist. Let's talk about the lower body now. So again, I don't mind if it's platform or pinpoint. The key for me is if you're in this platform position, it's very easy for you to keep these lines. Everything is about rhythm on the serve and being able to have good balance. So when kids are younger, we usually keep them this way so that they keep that balance. But you'll just naturally see that there is a rhythm or there's not a rhythm if you're in the platform. So you've got to work with both and see which one naturally gives them that rhythm. I am a pinpoint server. It just is naturally easier for me to kind of lean back and then as I'm coming forward, release my toss and my body is moving. If I were to stay in platform, I just feel like, how do I start my toss and how do I have the rhythm with my body helping me? So that'll be per individual. But the important thing is that we keep these lines. So I don't want someone in a pinpoint coming and opening their lower body. When they do that, as you can see, you've now lost your lower body turn, which means your upper body is going to take on more responsibility and more stress during your serve. So I like to have myself keep these lines, okay? And again, is there a perfect position to be in? Not necessarily, but if you're here, you can just 1% by 1% bring them closer to that perfect position. It doesn't need to all be in one go. You can naturally move them through that position. So the serve is basically, going to look like this with these lines. The next important thing is that in order to get that lower body help, we want to start pushing with the right leg. And by doing that, we're going to kind of bring it over here, which, a lot of times when we see the serve, people are saying, do this. Not necessarily that. We're looking to get in this back position. And that's going to help us push from the right foot onto the left foot and through. And so to finish that serve, a couple key points. One is, as we go up for contact, we want full extension with our arm so that we're getting as high as we can, as tall as we can, and able to get that snap and get the most effect out of our serve. With my left arm, I'm looking to almost have the feeling of kind of grabbing the rung of a ladder and pulling myself up. That's going to help me go up to the ball, which is where I want my weight to go. I don't want the feeling of pulling down and hitting the ball, pulling down to my left. I want to have the feeling of pulling myself up to go get that ball. And so for the lower body footwork at the end, we're going to push up, land on our left foot, balance, take one step, and then we're coming back into the ready position.